have a lot of cities across the world that are very ambitious and are really looking forward to become not only net zero but also resilient and inclusive communities. There are nonetheless a lot of challenges. Both the 112 cities that have decided to embark on this journey in Europe, as well as the 100 from 42 countries across the world that have joined the Urban Transition Mission, have embarked on a pathway to really deliver on the change that is needed, both in their infrastructures, in their services, but also in the way that they co-create together with their citizens the future of their community.
Cities, states and regions are really leading the way and expressing higher levels of ambition in most cases than their national governments are. And the urban transition is really starting to take place.
The global perspective, there is definitely a big disparity. The cities and regions in the global north are way ahead and moving at a different speed compared to the cities and regions in the global south, where they are still lacking access to finance, access to skills, technology, and therefore it's still a long way to go.
In terms of this summit, we really wanted to focus on the transformative power of urban planning and design. We applied 3 different lenses to this specific theme, looking into how are we designing resource-efficient cities, how are we designing people-centered cities, and how are we designing smart and interconnected cities.
One of the key takeaways from this summit is the need for bold local leadership. We do need to be equipping and supporting mayors and local leaders, not only to be the spokespeople for those kind of climate action plans and their level of climate ambition, but to empower them to take bold decisions at local level.
And I would say something that it's quite interesting as a challenge, but also as an opportunity, is how we include citizens in the decision making, and since the very beginning of the process of thinking about what is the city that we want.
And I think this was also another takeaway is about how we communicate and what we communicate, and that we need to adapt the language we communicate with to the target groups. So depending whether it's a city, it's academia representative or policy-making bodies, we need to adjust a bit the language and the wording that we are using, because it's very important how we explain our story. But on the other hand of this communication channel, because it's a two-way communication, we also need to listen. We need to listen to the needs of cities, and this was a very interesting and maybe a third takeaway for me, to listen to the experiences of cities, the underground experiences and the good practices, maybe sometimes also the challenges. And it was very inspiring to hear that there are a lot of similarities across the globe, but there are also some differences.
So the key challenges that I identify, which is first of all common on both sides of Global North and Global South, is the access to finance. So the one is finance. Second is having solutions and tools which are enhancing or fostering that, the thinking, the moving ahead with energy in mind or renewables in mind for the transition.
So I think when it comes to valorizing our solutions and also to upscaling, mainstreaming, that is the difficult question, and maybe that is the biggest challenge, and where the financing comes from to be able to support this large-scale deployment, which will be needed for cities to become climate neutral. So in this context, the UTM partnership is also actively engaging with other financing and funding opportunities and different initiatives on a European and a global level, and hopefully together we will be able to find a solution and exchange some good practices which help to overcome this challenge.
So local governments often face competing priorities and many different issues to address, but networks like the Global Covenant of Mayors that I represent, other partners who are here, from ICLE, from the European Network of Living Labs, from FFG in Austria and others who are involved in this Urban Transitions Mission Centre project, then are trying to empower and equip local governments with the knowledge and some of the understanding that they need.
My message to the urban transition community is that please don't lose hope. We are all working towards what we all want to achieve, but we all need to also come together and discuss this on various platforms like the UTM platform. So please come and share your ideas, your solutions, your tools. We all need them, and bring together the academia and the practitioners and bridge the gaps that we have to achieve the impact on the ground.
So I would take the message to join the portal, join the community of practitioners, city staff, experts, consultants, and majors deciding, and citizens, of course, taking bold action for climate change.